Welcome back to another explainer. So today we're diving into something a little bit different, but honestly, it's incredibly profound. We're going to unpack a beautiful little micro-narrative about a tiny, fluffy white kitten named Mia. Now, on the surface, sure, it's just a sweet story about a cat and a balloon. But as we break down the pacing of this narrative today, we're going to uncover some really deep, resonant lessons about resilience, finding joy in unexpected adventures, and the art of accepting change gracefully.
Let's kick things off with a slightly provocative thought. We spend so much of our lives actively pursuing our goals, right? We map out the chase, we calculate the exact trajectory, but we rarely, if ever, plan for what to do when that very success sweeps us completely off our feet. As you'll see through Mia's story, actually catching the prize isn't always the end of the journey. Sometimes it's the beginning of a totally unscripted ride. Moving right into part one, the playful pursuit, where we look at the chase for the balloon.
So our story opens in this beautifully sunny park, complete with light, playful acoustic guitar music in the background. A vibrant red, heart-shaped balloon drifts into view, and its string is trailing tantalizingly close to the vibrant green grass. And naturally, this immediately grabs the attention of our protagonist, Mia the kitten. The setup here is just perfect. It perfectly represents that shiny new opportunity, that big goal, or that dream that just suddenly floats right into our line of sight.
And what happens next brilliantly illustrates the trial and error of pursuing those goals. You see, Mia doesn't just flawlessly catch the balloon on her first try. Suddenly, these two fluffy white paws pounce into view, but she completely misses the string. She actually tumbles over herself, landing smack in a soft patch of yellow dandelions. It creates this big poof of yellow pollen in the air, and she lets out this absolutely cute little sneeze. It's a gentle, funny reminder that our first attempts at chasing our goals are, well, they're often messy, they're clumsy, and they usually land us right in the weeds, or, the dandelions in this case.
But here's the thing, she doesn't give up. The red balloon bounces gently against a tree branch, almost like it's giggling and teasing her. Mia's eyes widen into these huge, sparkling saucers. We get the classic cat preparation. You know the one, the little tail wiggle, the low crouch, and then, boom, she leaps, high into the air with her tiny paws stretched all the way out, and she successfully catches the very end of the balloon string. She did it. She achieved the goal and caught the prize.
Which brings us to Section 2, an unexpected adventure, and a very surprising lift. You see, instead of Mia's weights bringing her prize down to the grass like you'd expect, the physics of the situation completely flip the script. Mia is so tiny and so light that the helium balloon actually starts lifting her up. She literally floats a few feet off the ground. She looks down at the grass, drifting away, gasping, with her little mouth forming a perfect O. She got exactly what she wanted, right? But the consequence was entirely out of her control.
Now this right here presents a really stark contrast. Typically, an unexpected loss of control like that would induce instant panic. We humans would cling tightly to the string, thrash around, and desperately wish to be back on solid ground. But Mia's reaction, it's entirely mindful. After that initial gasp of surprise, she doesn't panic at all. She just quietly and curiously observes the grass drifting away beneath her. She manages to stay completely present in the moment.
This perfectly segues into Section 3, finding joy and discovering some mid-flight magic.
Rather than obsessing over the height or the total lack of solid ground, Mia consciously shifts her perspective. She looks up at the bright red balloon. She notices the sun shining right through the rubber, which casts this incredibly warm, beautiful red glow all over her white fur. She actively chooses to find comfort in her new environment. She wraps her front paws lovingly around the string, realizes she is actually safe, and get this, she begins to purr. She is finding pure joy in a completely unexpected adventure simply by choosing to trust the journey. And because she chose joy over fear, look at what she gets to experience. The balloon drifts gently over a beautiful flower bed. This movement triggers a group of colorful butterflies to flutter up, swirling around Mia and the balloon in this magical mid-air dance. She even giggles and taps a butterfly gently with her back paw. By staying calm and open to the experience, she unlocked an incredibly magical moment that she absolutely would have missed if she had stayed safely on the ground, or, if she had spent the entire flight with her eyes squeezed shut in sheer panic. Finally, let's look at Section 4, accepting change and the importance of graceful endings.
Because, as we all know, every flight eventually comes to an end, and how we handle the conclusion of a chapter is honestly just as important as how we handle the beginning. The journey concludes just as softly as it began. The balloon gently deposits Mia right onto the top of a soft velvet purple park bench. She's been safely returned to solid ground, albeit in a completely different location than where she started. And as her paws touch that soft velvet, the string just naturally slips from her grasp.
This is where we get a brilliant illustration of the art of letting go. Resisting the end would mean Mia scrabbling to catch the string again, crying out, or feeling devastated that her magical ride is over. But instead, we see what accepting change gracefully really looks like. The heart balloon floats up toward the blue sky, and Mia doesn't chase it. She simply sits down, wraps her tail neatly around her paws, and just watches it go with a happy, sleepy smile. She appreciates the experience exactly for what it was, without trying to force it to last forever.
So, based on Mia's journey, let's completely redefine a very common word for a moment: drift. Usually we think of drifting as a negative thing, right? Like aimless physical floating or being totally lost. But what if we view drift as a mindset? A mindful, graceful strategy for moving through unexpected life changes and accepting exactly where the winds of life gently deposit you. Mia drifted, sure, but she was never lost. She was simply experiencing the present moment.
And this redefined concept leads us to such a beautiful concluding sentiment. Spread love wherever you drift. It's a sweet yet profound reminder to carry positivity, curiosity, and an open heart right into the unknown. When you let go of that rigid need to control every single outcome, you free yourself up to experience the warmth of the sun and the dance of the butterflies, absolutely no matter where the wind takes you.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. The next time life unexpectedly lifts you up and sets you down somewhere completely new, when your own balloons inevitably float away, how will you handle it? Will you panic and grip the string until it burns, or will you look around for the butterflies? Will you choose to smile, wrap your tail neatly around your paws, and gracefully watch it go? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep drifting gracefully, and I'll see you next time.